You. Yes, you. I don't know what you're doing, but this video, maybe it's something for you. Oh. So for this video, I'm extremely excited about. And I've been looking online, I've been browsing the old internet. One thing that I saw a lot was reading challenges. I don't know, there's something to them that I think is just so damn appealing. It's almost like ASMR for people who enjoy reading a lot. One particular challenge that I was very interested about and very curious for myself is reading for 12 hours straight. The title of the challenge is pretty straightforward. I don't think you can get more straightforward than that. Still, let's break it down a little bit. The purpose of this challenge is to read, obviously, for 12 hours straight. This is just the reading part. This doesn't include, you getting some meal breaks, pee breaks, just walking around the house breaks. But there's another challenge. A personal goal for my own character development. 12 hours of reading starting from 5 a.m. and trying to finish the whole thing around 5 p.m. Okay, so now we are all set up for the challenge. I have my stack of books right here. First book, lore. I don't know about you, but this to me sounds like a fun time. My second pick is extremely different from the genre, the story, even like the cultural aspect of it. Kim JI-YEONG, born in 1982. And last, but certainly not least, would be Iron Widow. This one is interesting because it has some aspects of both of my previous choices. Now, these are my picks for this challenge, and we'll see if I manage in those 12 hours to read all three of them. I kind of highly doubt that, but we'll see, This is why we're doing the challenge. I really want to see how much I can read. So, let's see. So it's past 5. I tried to make it as close to 5 as possible. It took a little bit of time to wake up, to wash my face, brush my teeth, and just kind of get going because I just don't wake up at 5. Yeah, I don't want to drag this too much because the longer I sit here talking to you, the longer it will be at the end of the day when I finish the 12 hours. FYI, in case I talk weird, it's because I am. I just recently went to the dentist and got an implant. So it feels kind of iffy in my mouth. I'm still trying to kind of get used to it. It was something that I really wanted and I've wanted it for a long time. So it's definitely something that I don't want to really complain about. It's been a hassle. It's been something to get used to the thing as it keeps healing. I'm already getting kind of lightheaded. It's so strange talking to you in the morning like this, but it's not that unpleasant. It feels kind of good. It feels kind of peaceful. I got my book right here. My volume of lore is split. It has 2 volumes, which I think it's perfect. I'm going to take a break after I finish the first half of it. And we'll see how I feel about it. But I'm really, really interested. I've been wanting to read this for such a long ass time. First book, 514. Let's start. done. I read this. I still have the second volume. It took longer than I expected, but I think part of that was because I was just getting really tired. Everything went really well up to the midpoint of this book. And I'm not saying that it's a bad book. It's not that. I think it was just my brain, because I woke up so early and I'm not used to it. So I was getting really tired. It's a good story. I kind of like it. I like that it's fast-paced. And it's fine. I have no problem with it. I actually do like the lore. No pun intended. Story-wise, I think the pacing is not as great because it's already been like 300 pages and it feels like the story drags. I got so tired because I was tired, my mind was tired, but I think it was also because in the story things were getting very repetitive. The steps that they had to go through to find information, to fight the bad guy, it was just repeating itself and it was nothing behind it for me to kind of enjoy, kind of wake myself up. So I'm going to put a pin in this and I'll get back to you with the second volume and we shall see how the story ends. So, do you remember what I told you, that I was getting a little tired because of waking up early and all that? Well, let me tell you, I was really tired because in the next 20-30 minutes, I dozed off not once, not twice, not 3 times, not even 5 times. No. I dozed off for 23 times because I counted. Like here, 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 and here. Here is where I think it was more than just dozing off. I think I was actually sleeping at this point. This is no shade towards the novel. Granted, it wasn't a good place for me to read the second part of the novel in my bed, but there's a silver lining because I got to sleep some of my exhaustion off. Then I woke up and I had more energy, so to speak, to finish the novel and hopefully finish the challenge in due time. So without any further ado, let's get on with the reading part and not me slacking off. So I just finished Lore, which I have right here, and it was good. Like the second volume was so much better paced than the first one. Besides all the lore, this is going to be a fun pun for this book, all the Greek mythology, I really appreciated the book for its message. All in all, it was about someone finding their own path, disregarding tradition with its good and bad sides, disregarding family imposing their views on how you should live your life. This, in my opinion, was what the book was mostly about, was about you finding your own way of living and finding that way that just makes you proud of who you are. I found that message very warm, very hopeful, and truly heartfelt. Again, I appreciate writing a good story to just say that in such a beautiful way and in a simple way. It was very digestible. Not every book has to be this magnus opus, this grand thing in the highbrow sense of it. We perceive this grandness in different ways, and so something so simple can actually be very effective and can actually be an incredible journey and ride. I find myself appreciating just doing this challenge, reading so fast and reading almost without breaks, no matter how tired I was feeling at some points, getting sleepy at other points. I missed getting back to a story and being so enveloped in it, giving myself the time to just appreciate it but also kind of devour it at the same time. It's this weird feeling that I remember doing when I was back in my days, which, YA, it's the age category. It's only befitting that I would think of me being a teenager. I just got this new bookmark. It was in one of my bookmails, and I think it's so cute, and I've been using it just to put in almost every book if I can. But it's this butterfly. I think it's so beautiful and I really like it. To the next one. Welcome everyone to the other side of my bookshelf. I love candles. I buy them all the time and I never use them. I've had this candle for the last, oh my god. That was one of my neighbors. I don't know what he's doing in his own house. It's his own house. I'm not judging. I've been wanting to read this book for a while. It's a short one as well. So after my previous one in this challenge, it's going to be very interesting. And from the font of it, it might be an easy read. Depending on the context and depending on the story might be hard to read. But the way that it's displayed on the pages, I think it's going to be an easy read. I just kind of need that visual breather because my eyes got so tired at one point while reading lore. So I just want to change the pace for my eyes a little bit. My eyes need the rest. I'm a writer. I look at my computer so much. My eyes are probably always cursing me. So, without any further ado, I don't know if you've read... That's my cat. I should probably let him in.
Hello there.
Okay, and he's gone. From young adult, we jump right into literary fiction. It has other rules, it has other vocabulary. Hopefully, I'll finish this. And with that, I just finished my challenge. Good job. And I'm back. Now lore. This is a pretty hefty book. The first half of the story is the weaker part of it. Something else that I noted was how visceral some of the scenes were. And I'm not one to judge. I love visceral, but I just didn't expect it. I don't know what was happening with my choices, but apparently all of them were pretty feminist. There's this scene when Athena comes to Lore and they start to talk, and the feminist message is so obvious. It doesn't try to be subtle at all. What's something that kids, young adults, and adults hate is being preachy. And that scene to me was preachy to the rooftop. Let me break it down for you. It was almost 6 pages of mostly dialogue. Apparently, they want to make a movie adaptation, and they have that with Universal. The Percy Jackson meets Hunger Games. That's a pretty good sum up of the novel. I'm just gonna leave it at that and go into my statistics. The first half of Lore is made up of 334 pages. I read all of that in 5 hours and 36 minutes, which means that in an hour I was able to read 59.4 pages, and that means that I was able to read close to 1 page per minute, which, you know what, I'm gonna take it. It's not bad. Now the second half of Lore is made up of 295 pages. I read those in 4 hours and 24 minutes, which means that I read 67.2 pages per hour, meaning 1.12 pages per minute. Even better. Let's sum those two up and let's have the total count for Lore. Lore is made up of 629 pages in total, which I've read in 10 hours flat. That would mean that I've read 62.9 pages per hour and 1.05 pages per minute. I'm gonna give Lore 3.5 out of 5. Kim JI-YEONG, born in 1982, was such a different read from Lore, and I loved it. What I didn't like about Lore in how it told its message, I really loved how Kim JI-YEONG did it. In all her stages, Kim JI-YEONG has to battle oppression, and you can clearly see how she's conditioned as early as a kid to accept sexism, to accept misogyny, and treat it as a normal thing and stay silent about it. The frustrations, they feel real and tangible and poignant, and that's because they are. Obviously, the story is very much South Korean influenced, but it's something that I think relates to all women, and it tells all of that in beautiful, simple writing. Interspersed in between some chapters, you get factual information to back up those claims. Despite its brevity, it is thought-provoking on the topic of one's identity and how that's formed in society. On to the statistics. Kim JI-YEONG has 190 pages total, which I've read in 2 hours and 15 minutes. That would mean that I've read 84 pages in 1 hour and 1.4 pages in a minute. I'm gonna give it 5 out of 5. But all in all, this was such a fun experience, and I love this challenge so much that, you know me, I'm just gonna do it again, obviously. Thank you all so much for watching my video out of every other video in the YouTube atmosphere. Until next time, I told you it was something.